We are back out at the cottage project. So as you can see, the painters have been here. Guys are working on the floors right now upstairs, but the first floor is finished except for the carpet in the primary bedroom back there. So the baseboard has been delivered. We got door track for closets, and there's a bunch of casing back here for the doors. So we're going to get started on things. Oh, and some of the stair treads, going to need a few more of those. So this is one of the closets, and then two upstairs. Probably going to get started with those and then work through everything. And next week the cabinets get delivered for the kitchen out here. So a bunch more finished work to do. Let's get going. We got going on the casing on the doors this morning and ended up just jumping in and not really recording anything, but not super exciting anyway. So pretty simple case here, just rounded over 3.5 inch wide. So we don't have the table saw with us today. We'll have that tomorrow. We need to make some cuts to be able to finish some of these openings because it is rather tight on here. And then we need to case around this whole pocket door opening. We have sliders for the closet doors, although I think we're going to need a different slider for this particular opening. And then this is the one door so far that we have actually been able to case all the way around because there is enough room in the closet here. So that does get us far enough to be able to get started on the baseboard at least. We are moving on to getting the baseboard started, and the house here. Nice timing. The house here is just all sorts of out of square, so we're kind of dealing with wonkiness as we find it. And in this case, it turned out to be much easier to prefab this little piece around here, and I'm going to need to use some adhesive because I'm pretty sure this is just drywall on top of plaster. Everything else is studded out, so pretty easy as far as attachment, but the floor isn't level. There's enough give, it seems. We were able to kind of work it over a little bit of a hump right here. How that works out through the whole house, I guess we'll find out, but it's a fairly basic base, which is just fine for this particular project. Hey,
What?
make sure this closet looks good. People are gonna see it.
Yeah. They'll drive from far and near to look at how pretty it is.
Yeah, I would think at least 7 people.
I don't know if that many. Could be more, you never know.
Well, after 7 cuts, this board fits in the closet up here. So, as you can maybe tell, the floor up here is quite a bit out of level. It bellies in the middle of the closet, but it's all over the place. And it would have taken a lot of work to fix that. It just wasn't worth it in this case. But to our advantage, this gets carpeted up here. So we're going to hold the base up about 3/8 of an inch anyway. So that kind of absolves that issue. It'll go away with the carpet. Not only with these doors do we need to rip the casing, but the floor is like 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch out of level side to side. You can almost kind of see it there maybe. And once the Luan underlayment and the vinyl plank went on, the doors now rub on one side on the bottom. So we're going to need to cut just a little bit. It just barely rubs, so maybe 1/4 inch or so off the bottom of these 2 doors. Always something. We got the sliding closet doors going up, and this is where some of the floor wonkiness comes into play. Once the carpet is down, we'll see what that needs to trim by over there in the right corner. It goes up, there's no real way to adjust the floor, so we'll figure something out. End of the first day here, and it was a pretty productive day. We got a bunch of the base in place and casing on doors up and down, some more baseboard upstairs. So we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. And we're back out here on a cold Monday morning. It's about 14 degrees outside, Fahrenheit, that's -10 Celsius. So glad we're inside today. Getting the closet doors finished up here. Got the 2 more hung up there. So finishing the baseboard within the closet. And just got around that chimney there to go to finish up each of the bedrooms up on the 2nd floor. And I'm just finishing up this bathroom here. Had to cut into the drywall a little. It ended up a little wonky here, but a little bit of trimming took care of that. So now just need to cut the top piece of the casing, and that will take care of everything up on the 2nd floor. Well, that takes care of everything up here. So the bedrooms up here get carpet. That's why the base is held up. Well, it kind of varies due to the differences in the floor, but about 3/8 is the goal. And then the same with the hall here. Gets carpet through here. And then just got a little bit here around that chimney, just like the other side. So we get that and pre-assemble it because that drywall there is just glued to the old plaster and brick. So there's not really a lot to secure it to, but there's enough. And then the vanity's not in the bathroom quite yet, so we can't put all of the base, but we can put the piece to the tub and then in the dark over here on both sides of the door, but it's easy to pop back and put those in once the vanity is in place and we know what to measure to. And then the rest of the bathroom finish is just the tile, and that is somebody else. Got the cabinet delivery on this cold, snowy morning out here. Got about 1.5 inches of snow overnight, and looks to be maybe a couple more inches coming this evening. And it is a balmy 6 degrees Fahrenheit out there. That's -14 for the Celsius folks. So we're gonna finish up the trim around the doors and a little bit of baseboard left to go. And then we can start assembling this kitchen, which of course we'll have to move our cut station, but I don't know how well it picks up on camera. This floor is out of level. It's not bad through the majority of the cabinets, but up here by the sink and where a peninsula comes out, it's higher. So I don't know by how much. I guess we're gonna find out and see what that is going to require between shimming, maybe a little bit of cutting on some of the base cabinets. I don't know. Not entirely looking forward to it either. On the door casing that we had to rip down to fit within the confines of the space, on the top you need to cut the ends off, and I just early morninged myself into reversing my measurements and taking off the amount we need to keep on each side versus taking off the amount that needs to be cut out. Easy fix. Dope. That looks a little bit better. We got the trim back here at the back door and the basement door finished up, so that finishes the casing around all the doors that swing. And this was a goofy little rip on the side there, but works out for the space that is allowed. Things aren't always perfect on old building rehab, but you make it work. And speaking of making it work, a little pro tip to sometimes make things easier work. So got an outside corner here, got a miter. I already put the miter on, cut it just a little bit long on this end. I'm just taking it, turning it backwards. I can measure. I already know the measurement actually, but I just marked it and then I have it exact. and I'm not doing little teeny cuts to make it line up just perfect or overcut it. So sometimes just using what you're given is really the easiest way. So as we saw in our last video, hollow core doors like this are trimmable to a small extent. Usually you get over an inch. These doors, we found out, only have about 3/4 of an inch, but that's fine because we only need about a 1/4 inch trimmed off this hall door and maybe a 1/2 inch off the bathroom door because there's a little transition strip. The floor being on level is the problem in this case, but relatively minor. We can just slice this off and should be good to rehang this and be done. We got the closet and the bathroom door rehung, and we got good clearance on the bottom. You can probably see here how it slopes toward the back. Is what it is on an old house. You can try to fix it, but there's only so much we could do. Well, we're back out here after the snowfall. Picked up another 1.5 inches or so, so 3 inches total. And today it's a beautiful 10 degrees Fahrenheit outside. That's about -12 Celsius. So 2 projects. Of course, we have the cabinets here now. But the carpet guys are coming next week to measure up the rooms and the stairs. So we want to get the new permanent treads and risers in place. So we're going to jump on that. The basement doesn't matter, those will just stay wood, but we definitely want to get the 2 stretches up to the 2nd floor in place. So we'll get our saws back set up, and after that we're going to jump into the upper cabinets. So a little side trip, I got to run out and get a couple pieces of 1x12 and came out here and noticed my back door was kind of open, and the ice melting off the roof, I guess, actually managed to push the door out a little bit. We ran into a little problem with the closet over in the primary bedroom on the 1st floor. So it originally had an 84-inch opening and it was going to have 3 doors, but this little bump down from squeezing the stair height incorrectly under the roof to get 80 inches of clearance ended up getting into the way of the door operation. So we couldn't get 3 doors on there, and that's not going to work. So we are shrinking it down to fit 2 doors. Once the tape and mud is on there, it'll blend in just fine. Nobody will ever know the difference. It will kind of make a space that's tucked in there maybe a little further than ideal. But one nice benefit is this door now doesn't swing across the doors. From a looks perspective, it's going to work out just fine for this bedroom. I'm still jealous of the size of this closet. It's good size. Out here, we're getting the stairs underway. So first step in that is taking off the temporary treads. Then we're going to run our skirt board up each side. And that's just basic 1x12s. It'll blend in with the rest of the baseboard we got. So I'm gonna get that figured out and cut to whatever we need to make the angles on that work correctly. That is obviously uncut, just stuck in there, but that's the idea with putting the 2x4 spacer on the side of the stringers. It fits both the drywall and then the trim board without having to cut each individual riser, which if you're doing super fine trim work, absolutely do that, but that is not necessary in this case. That's just a lot of extra work. But what's not extra work, in my opinion, is vacuuming off the drywall that is on the underside of the stringers. It's the one opportunity to do it. Sure, you could say, Matt, why? Nobody's gonna ever see it. But who cares? If you're taking pride in your work, you do things that people don't see. It's the one chance to do it. Get it cleaned out now. We're getting things going here, so a little bit of trial and error to get this just right. We knew the angle, but just making it work out exactly takes a little bit when you don't do stairs every day. We actually just don't get to do the finishes on a lot of projects, so this is kind of nice and fun. So the right side is tacked in place right where it needs to go. The corresponding piece on the left side needs just a little bit of a trim there. This half wall only comes out just a little bit past, so it's going to meet that, and then the base will wrap around there and finish the look on the front. And then I'm going to pop this piece in here as well. Pretty straightforward work here with the stairs. So we're just reusing the 7/16 OSB temporary treads as the risers. So cut them down to size, put a little adhesive. Oh, this one's a little short. Interesting. How am I going to do this? There we go. So get them into the right place and turn it on. So we're basically just tacking, making this harder than it needs to be. So there we go. Just tack with a couple trim nails, and the adhesive will do most of the work. So I'm up basically as far as I can go. I'm gonna get some treads going. So we got pretty simple installation on the treads as well. Just put some adhesive on. Then take the tread, put it in place, and nail it in. I like a clean site anyway, but we've been going through some extra effort in this case since we are working on the finished floor to keep our sawdust vacuumed up, not grinding it into the floor, keeping things in good condition. Normally, we would just come outside and cut, but as you can see, it's still cold and snowy. But I also noticed, and this really bothers me, another contractor put some cuts in our nice deck boards there. Please take care when you're working on finished surfaces. We built this nice covered porch on a couple previous episodes. Actually, we'll pop out here. So the ceiling's not in place yet, but the siding has been put in. There have been some nice days here and there within all the cold and snow, so they had a chance to get out there and take care of the gutters and downspouts and siding, but still a little bit more work to do out here. And looks like we got a nice warm-up coming, so hopefully the concrete guys are going to be able to get out here. It's been a couple months of not really being able to do that type of work. Once that's in place, we get the stairs in. That right there is the last piece of door casing. So that takes care of the pocket door between the bedroom and the bathroom here. Cased out on both sides. Added a nice finished piece there to hold the door tight. Put in a stop on this side. So need hardware on all the doors still, but otherwise ready to go. And obviously all this trim will look a lot better with caulk and paint. It was a little dirty from being in the basement for a little while. And also got the closet doors over there wrapped up and cased out and shrunk down, and then baseboard around the room here. So good to go back here. So here's where we stand on the stairs, about halfway up, and need to cut the next section of the skirt, but we're gonna wait to do that till next time because Friday afternoon, time to head out of here. We got all of the door casing and baseboard except for this little stretch in. So we're going to come back on the next video and get started on the rest of the steps up and all of the cabinets that need to go over there in the kitchen. So thanks for rebuilding with us. If you enjoyed it, we'd really appreciate a thumbs up and a subscription if you haven't already done so. And thanks for watching, and we will see you guys on the next video.